Guess who's back? Back again. Guess who's back? Good morning, everybody. Yeah, welcome back to the show. This is episode 554
Woo!
of the Two Dumb
Woohoo!
Yinzers. Glad to be back. We are back from our week vacation, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
Um, how you doing, Derpy? Long time no hear. How you doing, man?
Well, obviously I showed you what happened, but
Hey, would you have a tornado?
I'm doing great. No, I didn't have a tornado, but a tree fell down near my house, and I had a food coma after Memorial Day. So
You had a what? What was the last thing you
a,
said?
a food coma.
A food coma?
Yeah,
What's a food coma? What are you talking about?
I passed out for eating too much food.
Oh, a food coma.
Fucoma. Okay, I'm looking.
Yep.
What's a Fucoma? Is that like I thought you went to like some illicit house of sin.
Holy shit. A
Oh
Fucoma.
like dang,
Fucoma. What the? Derby
like
had a
Derpy.
Fucoma.
Derpy's like he went like hardcore on vacation. He
Yeah,
was like, dang.
a Fucoma.
I was like, I haven't heard that of that before.
What did you what because you had a lot of food for the holiday? That's why?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Fucoma for Derpy. I like it. Fucoma.
Fucoma.
Uh
Fucoma, these nuts. I'm sorry.
but we are back. We are back, everybody. It is
I'm just
episode 554, and we are ready to go, guys. There's so much to talk about. So much to talk about. I do want to say before we start, I do want to say this. We do recognize it is Pride Month here on the show. So especially for today only, we're not going to
oh
do it all
god.
month,
Oh
but
god.
we're all going to have. You're going to have a
Oh no.
special. You're going to have a special name for Pride Month. I've already came up with them, so don't even worry about it. Mike, you're going to be Bear,
Okay.
like rawr, Big Bear. Okay,
Yeah. All right.
this is just for today.
Just
This
for
is for
today.
this is for Pride. Yeah, you're going to be Bear.
Okay.
I'm going to be Anton. I'm Anton.
Okay.
And Derpy, you're Twink.
Twink.
Twink. All right. So Mike, you're Bear. I'm Anton, and Derby is Twink. And this is just for today. This is to recognize Pride Month. We're not gonna get crazy with it. I mean, we do have guests we could have on, but right now, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Derby, you're Twink for today. Mike, you're Bear, and I'm Anton. All right.
That's I'm fine with
All
that.
right.
All right. There you go.
Like
That went a lot easier. That actually went a lot easier than I was expecting. I thought
I
this
just
was gonna
like
get
how
stretched
Ryan
out.
is well versed in the nomenclature of the LGBT community.
That's right. I'm not a
Like this is
bigot.
like personal growth for you,
I'm
man.
not a bigot. You fag.
Jesus Christ.
Right off the bat.
How come I knew it. I knew you would do that.
I didn't mean it in a bad way. You
Oh,
gotta
yeah, I
understand.
know. Yeah, like in
I'm
the South
sure.
Park episode.
Yeah.
When all the bikers showed up and everyone's worried about the kids saying the F slur and that big gay Al was like, kids, I thought you're all you didn't have a problem with gay people. No, we don't. We just have a problem with those people. What do you mean those people? And they show the guys in the motorcycle, rum, 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 rum. Those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the F slur. Yeah.
So,
That's how Ryan meant it.
so you're Big Bear.
I'm Big Bear. You know what? That might be my name from now on, Big Bear.
All right. Way to embrace it.
I'll embrace it.
Way to embrace your inner gay.
Hey, you know me, man. I'm not afraid to turn a joke. I will steer into a joke as long as we need to, baby.
All right. Guys, we
May I
do it.
recommend a name for Mike?
Yeah, please.
Baldisha.
Bald Leisha.
Yep.
How come I went from
You're just mad you're
the
Twink.
gay guy
Now I'm just
now I'm
mad I'm Twink.
transgender? If that's for the bit, I'll do it too, Dirty.
It's all in the LGBTQNYLK, Mike. You got it. It's all of them together.
I'm
So
in there. Yeah.
all right, so you're Big
What?
Bear.
Just throw me in there today.
I'm Anton. And Derpy is Twink today. So there you go, everybody. We do got believe it or not, we have sports we're gonna talk about.
As Ryan kicks off Pride Month in a stellar fashion.
I got
That's
so
only we can't hear
Right.
the two Dum Yinzers.
yeah. That's what you do. This is what you do.
Our friends are there because like that's what you do with your friends. You shit on them. But if someone else comes and shit on, like no. That's
Yeah.
only we are allowed to shit on our friends.
I'll beat your ass if you
Exactly.
mess with Twink.
Yes.
All right, guys. Also, a couple other things. Derp, I just want to say we missed you. I'd sent you a little message to let you know we were thinking about you the other day. I hope you got it. It was a 1 second
I did.
clip. It was of the smoke detector, the beep. So I let Derpy in, and Mike, I couldn't get rid of him during the break. He
Oh
was at the
God.
studio. He was one of them situations like where you sit down on the floor and you start talking, and we had about a
Like
4 hour conversation. So
yeah,
I really don't
yeah.
have much more to say to Mike, but
No,
but there is plenty, guys, plenty of sports going on, and we do need to get into it as
Yes,
of
we
now.
do.
We've gone on way too long with this pride stuff.
Like,
All right, guys. Pittsburgh Pirates are proud to be Pittsburgh Pirates fans, believe it or not. And you know what? This, guys, is the first time, the first time in his career that Ohtani is coming to Pittsburgh. He's not pitching. I looked into the
oh, he's not
rotations.
pitching. Okay.
No, but he
Well,
is
that's a
coming,
blessing in disguise.
and I'm sure he's probably. And I told Derp the other day he's already hit 3 home runs in this series, and
Yeah.
he hasn't even played yet. But the Pirates are back at it tonight, guys. They do play the Dodgers in game 1 of 3. This game starts at 6:40 p.m.
Yeah.
Pirates coming in with a 27-32 record. The Dodgers coming in with a 38-23 record. Call me crazy, but this is the kind of series that the Pittsburgh Pirates generally have success in. It's not against a team like the Toronto Blue Jays who are no good. They literally have nobody. It's not the Dodgers for some reason. I'm calling it now. The Pirates will win this series. Mike, the matchups today are gonna be Tyler Glasnow. Believe it or
Yeah.
not, Tyler Glasnow versus Jared Jones. Glasnow is coming in with a 6-3 record with a 3.04 ERA and 95 strikeouts on the season. Jared Jones coming in with a 3-5 record, a 3.55 and 70 strikeouts on the season. This should be a good one. We have Paul Skeens on the hill tomorrow. Paul Skeens is going to be going up against James Paxton, who's a lefty, undefeated. James Paxton, he's 5-0. And then the third game, the final game of the series is a Bailey Falter versus a Walter Bulger matchup where Bulger is 1-3. Got a pretty high ERA. So maybe just maybe we could win 2 of these games, Mike. But that's what I'm thinking. These are the kind of games the series you're not supposed to win are the ones that the Pirates generally do well. And I don't know why, I don't know what, but this is what happens all the time with the Pirates.
Yeah, and hopefully to in this series tonight's start, Jared Jones can get back to the way he was pitching earlier in the season. His last 7 games, ERA's what 3.8 those 7 strikeouts, 38 strikeouts, but 10 walks, 17 earned runs. Let's get him back to the way he was pitching those first 4 or 5 starts.
Yeah,
And if that happens, and then Skeens pitches the way he has been, and Falter pitching the way he has been, we have a chance to win this series. Maybe 2 out of 3, maybe 3 out of 3. All right, but like you said, this type of the series that we should lose, and we'll find a way to win.
this is in
hopefully
fact
it happens.
the 60th game of the season is today. When the
Wow.
series concludes, that will be the 62nd game. So after this series with the Dodgers, we have 100 baseball games left. Some may feel that, it could go either way. I'm looking, this team is just average.
Yeah.
I'm looking at all the statistics, the whole way down, batting, pitching, everything. As far as a team, it is, Mike, they land in 14, 15, and 16 in almost every statistic. They're an average team. They're going to win good games. They're going to lose bad games. I can't really figure out. They're just an average team.
Yeah.
But as I said, if they beat this Dodgers team this weekend or this week, I wouldn't be surprised. But I am going to give you some standings before we do move on. Of course, the Brewers are in first place. They're at Philadelphia this week. Tied in second place, the Cardinals and the Cubs. The Cardinals have passed up the Cubs. They dropped back a little bit over the past day or so, so they're tied in second, 7 games out. Chicago is playing the White Sox at home, and the Cardinals are at Houston. Pirates, of course, are playing the Dodgers at home, and Cincinnati in last place. They're playing at Colorado. It's too long of a season to tell if these particular games are going to help. But no matter how many games we win, it seems like we keep going down. And Milwaukee's not doing that great. It isn't like they have a record like the Yankees or the Indians do this year. So I don't know.
We're a game and a half out of the wild card.
Yeah, and we're a game and a half out. That is the one thing that's encouraging is the game and a half out of the wild card. I think that's what we need to bank on because anything beyond the wild card, I think you're crazy.
Yeah, and 8.5 back in the division. I don't think we're going to catch Milwaukee, even though this division is no one can put together a consistent winning streak. But I don't think we're going to catch Milwaukee, but we can catch Cardinals, Cubs. We can get back into that wild card hunt, and too bad we're going to be facing teams like the Braves is in the wild card hunt, and who else is in there? Real quick, let me take a look. But the Braves and the Padres that are at the wild card now. So we have to jump Cubbies and Cardinals, which is doable. They're in our division, and the Giants and the Diamondbacks, doable as well. And if the team just becomes more consistent, that's the thing. On this Bucket team, we've been talking about all season. We talked about it last week, or excuse me, the week before we went on vacation. Just how inconsistent this Bucket team has been this year, and going to even into last year, where we can hit, then we can't pitch, or we can pitch, we can't hit. It's just they're average team, but if they were consistent, they would be in the hunt for the division, hunt for battling for the wild card spot.
And Bear, if they would happen to, well, okay, so they have something going in their favor. They have Henry Davis coming back up.
Henry Davis, you keep him as far away from the MLB hitting coach as possible.
Yeah, I mean he's hitting the cover off the ball in the minors. Of course, there's a huge gap between major league pitching and minor league pitching, but getting him back, I think, is big.
Oh, yeah.
You have Bart. He's been hurt. He hurt his thumb.
Yeah.
Martin Perez, another one that went down. So I think it's time you got to start bringing up your big leaguers. I understand it. Jack is Jack. Jack is going to do what Jack does. There's been nothing that indicated that Jack's career will be anything different than the Jack that we've seen every single year. He's going to strike out. He's going to he's going to hit home runs. He's just that guy. He's that hitter. Like it or not, get his ass back in the pros.
Yeah.
Henry Davis, get his ass back up there. One player that you will not see in the majors, Twink, is Marcano, the infielder who's been coming up and down for the Pirates over the past couple seasons. He was banned for violating the league's policy on gambling. Of course, he's with the Padres organization now. He's not with the Pirates, but he has been banned for life. A lifetime ban for gambling on baseball.
Yeah, this MLB ruling about gambling on baseball brought to you by DraftKings and FanDuel.
That's right, baby.
Because baseball, man, in pro sports, they are dead set against gambling. Brought to you by, FanDuel.
Yeah.
So, he should have had Ohtani's interpreter. I think that's the guy who's really doing it. Well, there's not been a gambling problem in baseball before Ohtani's interpreter showed up. Now he showed up and two guys were implicated. Okay, this is serious, man. Get the interpreters out of baseball.
Let's talk a little bit, Mike, about
but this guy right here betting. I like how they found 23 games he bet on the Buccos, and it was determined that the play in his gambling didn't determine the outcome of the game. So that means he must have bet the Pirates to lose.
I was telling Mike before the show, I think that the Pirates for the past 30 years have just been the mule in a big gambling scandal where everybody these are people in the know. This is how Warren Buffett got rich, was betting against the Pirates. And games that they would typically win, let's say the Pirates versus the Reds, and then these big guns they know, so they go against the Pirates and these bad teams that beat us. These guys are making a killing all these years. It's been going on for decades.
You figure we've had how many 100 lost seasons? You bet us, against the Buccos, you're only going to lose 62 times, so you're going to make profit.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. That is your Pittsburgh Pirates. We'll see. As I said, when this series wraps up, they will be at 62 games.
Yeah.
That means they have 100 games left. We're in the June. We're about 6 weeks away from the trade deadline, the all that kind of fun stuff in majors. I think this month needs to be big for the Pirates. Of course, I'm just talking out of my ass, right? But the Pirates, they do need to get back on it this month for these reasons. It's June. These bats usually heat up in June from Andrew McCutchen the whole way down the list. 2, you have four good starters in your rotation that's capable of winning on any given day. These reasons alone. And 3, you've played subpar baseball to this point. At some point, you got to show people that you're not the worst freaking baseball players in the league. So for these 3 reasons, I think the Pirates will improve. not significantly, but enough to stay again, as you said, Mike, in the wild card race for only a
Yeah,
game and a half out at the beginning of June. It could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse.
yeah.
So, if the Pirates do these few things, get the bats heated up, keep this rotation going, the relievers, Mike, the bullpen
Yes, I was
is
about to say the
the
bullpen.
complete
Awful.
Achilles heel. You can say what you want about Rowdy. Rowdy stinks. Yes, he did have a good game the other night, but this guy got to go. You got to get another person to platoon with Connor Joe at first base, and you have to get two relievers. You need to. People are saying we have to get one reliever ain't going to do nothing because
No,
on
you
the other
need.
days you're going to
Yeah,
have to stick strap on back in there, and then on the other days you're going to have to stick the other guys. You need two good relief pitchers who are going to be
yeah,
to come, be productive, and stay productive consistently. If you plan on doing anything
yeah.
other than that, this is going to be a very similar season. What we've seen many times, like in Derpy. If you want to get those extra wins to put you over the top, you have to make these moves. You can't not see that these things are going on. You
Yeah.
can't be Derek Shelton in this locker room getting game after game after game after game after game blown by the relievers. You can't be Derek Shelton, or you can't be Charrington, or you can't be Huntington seeing Rowdy Tellez do absolutely nothing for 2 months of baseball and sit on your hands. If you want
Yeah.
to prove that you're a baseball team in the majors, you got to make moves. You got to make them soon because, again, if you ride this out, they're 5 games under 500. Let's say this continues in their 5-6 games out of 500, under 500 2 months from now. You made no
Yeah.
progress. Yes, you didn't get worse, you didn't sink, you didn't fall, you didn't skydive, but at the end of the day, you're showing that you're doing nothing. They're showing us that they're doing nothing so far by not addressing the reliever situation and by letting Rowdy Tellez hang around a little too long. What are they waiting for on this guy, Mike?
Like, find someone in your life that is loyal the way Sherrington and Shelton are to Rowdy Tellez. If you can find that kind of loyalty in a partner,
I don't care.
you're set for life, man,
That's
because
right.
the way they're just so loyal to this guy who's been here for a cup of coffee, it's mind-boggling. It's not like he's some grizzled vet who's had a storied career. He had one good year and one relative okay year, and they're treating him like he's like the greatest player of all time. Oh, we got to keep him around. Got to keep him around. No, this is the kind of guy you bring in, low risk, high reward. The reward's not there. You get rid of him. You ship him out. You DFA him. Whatever. Who cares if you get anything for him? Just get rid of him. He's a cancer in the clubhouse. He's not brought anything good.
I do want to say,
And,
yeah, go ahead, man.
and I was just say too, like the reliever situation. Like we spent a lot of money in the off season trying to with Tellez and oh my god, Chapman, and they didn't work out. So instead of just keep throwing them out there, saying, well, we spent the money, it didn't work. How about spend more money to find guys that will work throughout the season to make your team better? Say what you will about the Penguins and the Steelers' success recently, but during the season, they make moves to try and improve the team. Who's out there for on the waiver wire? Who's out there in a trade? Like they're always trying to rebuild the roster on the fly as they're going to improve. And you got the Pirates who just sit on their hands and wait until trade deadline to see if they're going to be a buyer or seller. Be
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not that upset with Aroldis Chapman just yet. I just think that we hope that he was going to come in and be Aroldis Chapman, the guy that we've seen for years and years, and for the Reds and the Yankees and every other team. I'm not through with him just yet because again our bullpen is so bad. He is capable of coming in and putting up a 101 mile per hour pitch and striking out a lot of batters. For what we have, that's pretty good. If you do start to bring it all together, you develop a bullpen, and this guy still comes out and blows saves. I don't think David Bednar's far from this conversation either. I think they're both in the same boat. At this point, I'm happy to have them on my team. Am I thrilled with what they're doing this season? No,
now.
but I do know that they're both capable of performing better. Of course, Chapman has a whole career of doing so. Bednar, you'd like to think he has it in him somewhere. Mike, I do want to talk about a few of these other guys on the Pirates before we move on. We have a lot to talk about today. Just a quick grade through 2 months. Andrew McCutchen, what do you give Cutchen his first 2 months on an A, B, C, D, F grade scale, like you're in school? Mike, what do you give Andrew McCutchen so far in the first 2 months, the first third of the season? What do you give Andrew McCutchen as a grade?
You know what? For what he is at this point in his career, C plus.
What about you, Twink? What do you give Andrew McCutchen at this point?
I'm gonna give him a B minus.
That's
And for anybody
fair.
that's just
Yeah,
tuning
C
in,
plus B minus.
I do want to say if I forgot, I may have forgot. I just wanted to say good morning to Brian. I also wanted to say we do have pride nicknames for the day to show that we're not complete bigots. Mike is Big Bear. Mike is Big Bear today. I'm Anton, and Derpy is Twink. So,
Because remember, we accept you, but if you're in our group, we will make fun of you.
That's
But if someone
right.
outside the group makes fun of you, we will beat their asses.
That's right.
Yeah. This is how we roll.
I give Andrew McCutcheon a minus. I think the guy's playing out of his mind for 37 years old. I think for what he's the position he's put in, he's overachieving.
Oh God,
he doesn't need to be doing the stuff that he's doing, but he is.
He's what tied for the team lead in home runs. My God.
Andrew McCutcheon is a minus for me. Brian Reynolds. We're not going to really stretch this out. Mike, how long? What kind of grade do you think on Brian Reynolds?
A D. I'm sorry, you're making that kind of money, and you have high expectations of being a all-star or borderline all-star, and you're playing this. You're too wildly inconsistent.
Twink, what do you think about Brian Reynolds?
I think he's Alex Highsmith. No,
I'd take Alex Highsmith's production.
No, I'll give him a C.
You know what? I'm going to give him a C too. This is why. This is why he gets a C for me, because Mike nailed it right on the head. For the money he's getting paid, see, I think he's having a better than average season. But for the money he's getting paid, I think that places him and makes him only an average player.
Yeah.
Therefore, he gets a C. Andrew McCutcheon has an A minus. Brian Reynolds a C. Brian Hayes comes back from his injury, hits a home run in his first or second game back. Mike, so far this season, Brian Hayes, what do you give him?
Not expecting a lot offensively out of him, so I'm happy with what he's given us defensively. He's still one of the best third basemen in baseball. So I'm going to go B minus for Brian Hayes.
I do want to say good morning to P on the board as well. Great to hear from you, P. Always great to hear from you, sir. All right, so Derpy, what do you think? Brian Hayes, Twink, what do you think about Brian Hayes?
I'm going to give him a B minus.
Yeah, I think Brian Hayes deserves a B. I think that he has done nothing short of what he's supposed to this year. The guy is consistent at third base. The guy is he's coming through in the clutch and on the offensive side of the ball. I give him a B. Let's move on, guys. Connor Joe, Big Bear. What do you think about Connor Joe?
Connor Joe, for what he is, and I'm grading him on him just being not an everyday player. And the production that he's giving you, I'm going to give him an A.
I think you can't not give him an A. Twink, what do you think about Connor Joe?
I think I'm going to give him an A because he's a hustler.
He is. The guy's you know what? He's not the most talented. He's not the biggest, the strongest, the fastest, but you know what? This guy is playing the best baseball on this Pirates team. I give him an A without a doubt. A couple more guys, and then we do have to move on again, fellas. Nick Gonzalez, he comes up and does nothing but good since he's been up from the minors. He came up last year. We got a little taste of Nick Gonzalez. He was good. He was fair. But this year, come on, the guy has, I don't know how many games he's had without a hit, but I think he certainly has more games with hits. Mike, Big Bear, what do you think about Nick Gonzalez this season?
I like it. Pleasantly surprised how well he's performed since he came up. I just want to see those strikeout numbers come down. 29 strikeouts and 78 at bats. You want to see that come down.
Absolutely.
But he's batting 308. What's his on base percentage? 360. It might be best on the team. I'm going to give him grading on the limited time he's been here as the role player that he really should be. I'm going to give him an A as A minus.
Twink, Nick Gonzalez.
B plus.
All right. Nick Gonzalez, I give a healthy B to. I really got to give him a B. Jared Triolo, Bear. What do you think about Jared Triolo? You're not a fan of Triolo, are you?
No. I've never been a big Jared Triolo
You're
fan.
just upset. He's a white guy.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. All right. Because he's this white bitch over here.
This white bitch, a white son of a bitch.
White son of a bitch. Jared Triolo. I think he's go ahead.
I'm gonna give him a C.
Derpy. I'm sorry, Twink. Jared Triolo.
C.
Now, Jared Triolo, I feel, has been nothing short of consistent. On defense, his gloves there. He makes great plays from the far side of the diamond, and he comes up with clutch hits pretty often. He is one of the guys that does manage to get a hit on a day when the Pirates aren't having a good hit day. I got to give Jared Triolo a solid B, as well as Gonzalez. I put them in the same boat. Guys, I got two guys left. I saved these two for the end. Michael A. Taylor, the guy that was supposed to come in and save our outfield. Mike, what do you think about Michael A. Taylor so far?
I'm going to give him an F. It just did not live up to the expectations that we had for
I think
him.
what we missed was this. He had a career season last year. He had 21 home runs last year.
Yeah.
He's never done this.
No,
we see these numbers in Pittsburgh. We're like, this guy got 21 home runs.
Yeah.
Here we are a third of the way through. What's he got? One, two, maybe at the most.
Yeah. It's the batting, 198.
Yeah.
When his career batting average is like a 240. You want that to be better. I thought his on base would be better. It's just not there. No, I wasn't expecting power. I was expecting more consistent play.
Twink, what do you think about Michael A. Taylor?
A D.
All right. I'm going to give Michael A. Taylor. He's done nothing.
Yeah.
He's really done nothing. However, he hasn't done nothing as much as Rowdy Tellez. So I'm going to give Michael A. Taylor a D. That is the segue to Rowdy Tellez, the last guy we're going to talk about before we move on, because baseball's making me sick. Rowdy Tellez, I mean, is it even worth asking you guys what you grade him?
Hey, we don't do that here.
No, we don't do that here.
We don't do that here. We don't do that here. We don't judge players on how well they play. No, we don't do that here. We don't cheer them.
Why would you do that?
Them.
Why would you?
We boo
why
them.
would you cheer or boo? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I'm taking that's not a good grade.
Oh, that's going to be an F. I'd like an F plus.
Twinkie, what's that for you? What's a Rowdy Tellez grade for you? You have the red pen.
F to the infinity.
RP, that might be the smartest thing you've ever said on this show.
I'm gonna give him an F plus because he tried. He tried to be a nice guy in the locker room. He got shit on. That's why he's getting the plus. That's what being a nice guy gets you. It just gets you the plus.
Rowdy Tellez. Fuck him.
All right, there you go.
Big ass, goofy ass head that he has.
You heard it first. This is where your deep, informative Pittsburgh Pirates talk stems from here. It's the two Dum Yinzers.
I like Triolo. I want to hate him. I want to like. I'm just indifferent towards Triolo. He comes at the plate. I'm like, He's in the field.
You just don't like him because he's a straight white guy. That's all I can understand.
Exactly. He's vanilla.
Yeah. Guys, we got to move on. Let's talk football before I lose my mind here.
Yes.
18-game season. Yes. It is becoming a thing. Roger Goodell's really pushing this 18-game season. Yeah. However, the guys not so much. They're saying there's increasing the possibility of injury.
Yep.
You're playing in a sport that plays 17 games where it is required of you to hit the other guy as hard as you can, but yet we are not for the one extra game because it increases the possibility of injury. Mike, what do you say about this?
Yeah, it does. I agree with him on that, especially like the linemen, those many car wrecks that they're in every freaking play. It's one more chance you can blow out an E2 as a running back.
But can we say we're in the wrong field if that's going to be our concern?
No. You can have a physical game like this, but even having like a physical job, you still have safety standards to go through. And then the NFL should be no different as well. You can hit people, but hey, the science in it. Like each game adds more and more chance to the injury. Like give them that extra bye week, give them 2 bye weeks. And a lot of them will say, hey, you give us that 2 bye weeks. That's an extra week for the body to rest. And we'll do the 18 games. And I think that's what it is too. They just need that extra break. And I think they would be happy with that because
if you're getting $10.50 an hour, I think that there's a potential, people should worry about getting hurt because it could change your life. It could be life changing. If something gets hurt, you get hurt at the workplace and you can't work for a long period of time. I also think that not only athletes, I'm talking about big money makers. If you make a lot of money, that kind of softens the blow. If I got hurt and I'm a millionaire, I'm a little bit more.
The thing is that, like with these contracts, though, they're not all of them are guaranteed. Only a select few are guaranteed. If they had guaranteed contracts, I would be right there with you. Like, hey, you're getting your guaranteed money.
Yeah.
even though some of these guys aren't making millions, I'm like, only $500,000 a year. That's still a lot of money.
I could
But if that
retire.
was, but if
Give me
that was,
$500,000. I would, dude.
yeah,
Believe me, I could get one of
yeah.
these.
But if that was like guaranteed money, I'd be like, yeah, you're getting your money guaranteed. You don't, if you get hurt, you're still going to get paid. But even if they get hurt, they really don't get a percentage.
And let me clear that up, so people don't think I'm a complete idiot.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
$500,000. Listen, I could retire. I'm not saying everybody could retire.
No, yeah.
I'd go get me one of them sheds that look like a house that's on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And I would put it in the woods and I would live in it with $500,000. You would never see me again.
Yeah.
But
no, like, if their contracts were guaranteed, I would be like, yeah, you're just go play. You're getting your money no matter what, but they're not. So I understand that point. And that extra week of wear and tear without an extra bye week. I think give the teams 2 bye weeks, start the season a little earlier than normal. And I'd be all for it.
Derpy,
I think the players will be too.
Derpy, have you seen the new helmets that some players are going to be wearing this year that have the big foreheads? Did anybody see these new helmets?
I have not.
It's almost it protrudes right here in the front of the helmet. So I mean, they are making moves every day to try to make the game safer for the player, which I'm all for. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I'm not saying throw these guys to the wolves, let them get killed, and you know what, F them if they do. F them. I'm a football fan.
You're trying to balance the safety and the
right, because I am a football fan, and I think that 17 games. Listen, you play 17 games. I honestly say that one game isn't enough. I honestly say that most guys are probably going to be okay at the end of that extra game. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they are making the moves, the helmets, this, that. So that is up for debate. We will see if Roger Goodell gets his way.
Like, they add the extra bye week, expand the active game day roster as well, so you can rotate more people in as well, to help lessen the wear and tear too. The NFL should look into that stuff as well.
Russell Wilson has the most passing touchdowns in the NFL since 2015. Guys, since 2015, Russell Wilson has 262 home runs, touchdowns. Also, right behind him, guys, is Tom Brady with 257. He has 5 more touchdown passes than Tom Brady in that time period since 2015. Kirk Cousins, 252. Aaron Rodgers, 249. And Matthew Stafford wrapping out the top 5 with 226. At the end of the day, guys, I'm happy with this move, bringing Russell Wilson in to play quarterback, whatever happens between him and Justin Fields.
Yeah.
These moves need to be made. These moves need to happen. We weren't going to win any more than what we have been winning with what we had. And I think that these guys are transitional. I think that this is going to be something that, that we're going to use until we can get that guy.
Yeah.
You need that guy. We always talk about that guy.
Yep.
But these 2 guys, I'm okay with. I mean, if you would have brought in, somebody that was a little less than who these 2 guys are, I might not have been. But you know what? I'm satisfied this year going into the season with what we have under center. If anything, I think that, for experimental reasons, just to see what the hell happens.
Yeah, and if we would have brought Russell Wilson in 2 years, even 3 years ago, I probably would have been against the move, especially from 2 years ago. That first year in Denver, he was a complete disaster. It was just the way he played was an embarrassment.
It was more of his personality. It seemed like he was such a shithead.
Yeah, but last year, you saw like the numbers that he put up were respectable numbers. 3,500 yards, almost 30 touchdowns, only a handful of interceptions. So he played a whole hell of a lot better. So
that was a bad team.
Yeah, that was a bad team, and so that it makes me feel more comfortable if we're getting that Russell Wilson. But the one from 2-3 years ago, I don't want that play. I don't want that person. Now, whether he's truly changed as a person, the way he carries himself behind the scenes, or it's just a PR thing, that remains to be seen. But as long as he gives that production that he did last year onto this team this year, I'll take those exact same numbers, and I'll take that. That's at least 12 wins right there, the way he plays and the way the defense can play that they're supposed to. 12, 13 wins is not out of the realm of possibilities.
Absolutely not.
Except for that number 2 wide receiver.
Yeah.
But, the way the receiver market's going right now, it's really interesting.
I'm impressed with Russell Wilson because they showed him at the Kenny Chesney concert the other night in Pittsburgh. He's about a half foot taller than Kenny Chesney. Russell Wilson's like the shortest quarterback in the league. And Kenny Chesney was about a half foot shorter than he was. So and talking about TV making life, making you bigger than life. I would have never guessed that Kenny Chesney was 3 feet tall.
I know. And one thing about Russell Wilson too, you don't have to worry about is the professionalism going in and out, getting prepared for games and everything. You know you're going to get that from him. You don't win Super Bowls. You don't make it to another one without being mentally prepared and ready to go. You don't put up the numbers he has throughout his career without being someone who's going to learn that playbook inside and out, hold teammates accountable. So you don't have to worry about that. Maybe, the last couple of years when we had that turnover from Ben, we had three guys trying to fight for control of the room, not knowing who's really should be in charge. Now you have a guy who's, everyone knows Russ is one, and Fields is two, and that other guy, Allen, is three. Everyone knows the pecking order and they know who to follow and emulate
And
their
here
play after.
also this big bear. I do want to mention this. I don't want to skip over this because this is very important. But Fatano did sign.
Yes.
As of this morning, our number one pick
Let's
did
go.
sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys. We're set. We're closer than we've been.
Yeah.
We're moving forward. And you know what? Next month, it is going to be camp. These guys are going to be at camp full time. But let's move on, guys. I do got some other NFL news to talk about. Brian on the board says Kenny Chesney is trying out for the quarterback position as the Arizona Cardinals quarterback.
Like, you know what? They're the same height. Might work out.
Well, yeah, but does he play Call of Duty though? That's the problem with the quarterback room down there.
Real quick, I was just watching some podcast clips and ex Arizona Cardinals receiver as a guest on their program, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I think if you put Kyler Murray on another team, he'd be successful." He's like, his former teammate was like, "No, he wouldn't." he's he's a good athlete, but he is not a leader. He just doesn't know how to lead.
All right, lots of stuff to go here. Let's roll forward, guys. The Caleb Williams, underwhelming. He was benched after what was this 7? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
but this is the news that's out there.
Benched.
The benched after throwing 7 consecutive interceptions. Also, he didn't complete a single pass during 7-on-7 drills. And finally, his response to being so bad and throwing the interceptions was this quote: I intentionally threw those to give the cornerbacks some confidence, is what he'd said that he did. He threw these interceptions.
That's a great response there.
I guess if you're gonna come up with an excuse,
might as well. But
I don't see it, Mike. I didn't see it whenever he was in college. I think it was a big mistake taking him 1 overall. I think he was in a terrible conference. I think he had terrible competition. I don't think this guy is going to do what he's going to do to Chicago that people hope that he's going to do. This team is not going to be one of the best contenders. I'm seeing lists now that have the Eagles, the Chiefs, and these guys and the Bears on this list. They do not belong. See again. Caleb Williams not the answer.
I do know he had that bad first couple of days, but then later on, because I followed up reports as well too, like he was improving as the practices went on.
He should be. I mean, he's the number one pick.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
As counter,
but it's the Bears, man. It's the Bears. You're
exactly. It's not gonna work.
Like if he went just about anywhere else, I think you'd have a much better chance.
I don't know,
but it's the Bears.
He'll be coming to Pittsburgh before you know it. You know how all them Yankees get all the Pirates, we get all the Bears schlubs.
We got all the Bears rejects, and hopefully we can find one.
Another quarterback in the NFC who's doing well, apparently, is Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett finally decides to play good football. However, he does tend to play good football in the off season. Off season last year,
yes,
he was out playing all off season. He had all the receivers. He had them in Florida. They were doing drills, doing great, running stairs, everything that they could do. But at the end of the day, preseason was great, undefeated.
The preseason were
he had an amazing QB. At the end of the day, he stunk. This is Jalen Hurts' team. Anybody that is going to take anything out of this story is crazy. Kenny Pickett will not go to Philadelphia. And you know what? Even if Jalen Hurts goes down and Kenny does become the guy, I don't know. I don't know. I'd be interested just because of of course, a lot of the Matt Canada talk, the offensive coordinators, and just having different weapons over there than he had here. I would be curious to see how that played. I think he'd do okay. He's an okay quarterback.
Yeah, you're gonna have a damn good offensive line, even though they lost Kelsey, but that line on every other position is still dominant.
Yeah,
well, they did lose Lane Johnson, or no, never mind. Scratch that. But they still have a dominant offensive line. You still got Saquon Barkley. You still got 2 really good wide receivers. Yeah. So they have better skill position players in the O line right now than the Steelers do. So by default, you would think you'd be better.
He did say that Caleb Williams is a perfect fit for the Bears. He is a perfect fit for the Bears. I promise you. Listen, Just watch.
He's not going to be anything.
I tell you what, though, he is doing. I'm watching him out. Like he was interacting with fans. Like the fans started like the Packers suck thing. He was getting into it, getting the fans hyped up. So he has that great relationship with the fans and the
I
fan
like,
base. It's just
yeah.
can he put it together on the field? I hope he can, because more great quarterback play in the NFL is better as a fan.
Also, Lamar Jackson losing out on $750,000 from his contract, a bonus from his contract for missing some OTA time. He must participate, Mike, in 80% of his offseason workouts to get this bonus. The $750,000 to Lamar Jackson even matter?
That's that's like $7 to me.
Yeah.
Like, no. But like I was reading that too, and people are like, well, if he would have had the agents work that call, if he had agents, they would have made sure that wasn't in there. Like, you know what? People want, these athletes to be earn their money, and then when they do something like that where they have to show up to earn it, then they say, you know what, I'm okay with not earning that. Then they criticize. I mean, I find it funny, but yeah, 750K to Lamar Jackson is butt light money.
Finally, in NFL, the Commanders are opening to a name change. They're open to a name change. I know a lot of people are saying that this is a stupid name, whether you like the Redskins, whether you didn't like the Redskins. A lot of people do not like the Commanders. Mike, at the end of the day, I think the Commanders are a good name for this team, or I like whether it's the Redskins or not. I'd like to see something different. I don't know.
I like when they were called
Commanders and the
I like when they
Guardians.
were called the Washington Football Team. I
Yeah.
fucking love the WTF or
Yeah.
TWF. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
I
Like,
just think that these teams didn't take a lot of time to think. I cut the Commanders.
yeah, the
That's a
Commanders.
stupid name.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, see, they could have went with the Defenders and had like a military type theme to their uniform, redesign their uniforms.
What is
Play
a
like
commander? Is a commander's like a military thing, right?
yeah, but like the actual
Yeah.
like DC Defenders, like that would have been the perfect name for the Washington Commanders. We're rebranding ourselves the DC Defenders, and they could have had new uniforms, like these badass looking things instead of these god awful ones they have now. They missed the boat.
All right, guys. In the women's football league, the Women's Football Association, the Pittsburgh Passion is taking their undefeated record up against the Boston Renegades this Saturday at Slippery Rock University.
Let's go.
Games at 6:30. Kickoff. Let me give you an idea how good this Boston Renegades team is. Of course, you remember, Mike, a couple weeks ago we played the New York Wolves,
Yeah,
and the Wolves were bad, and we beat them 51-6.
yeah.
The Boston Renegades beat the Wolves 90-7.
Oh my
90
god.
to 7.
That's
So
a spanking.
That's one you just you burn the game film.
that's like 12 touchdowns. I mean, listen, guys,
That
this
is
Pittsburgh
nuts.
Passion team is undefeated. They've dominated everybody they played.
Yeah,
This is the big showdown. This is the
Yeah.
Boston Renegades, guys, at home this week at Slippery Rock University. And again, the Renegades beat the Wolves, the same team that we beat 51-6. They beat them 90-7.
yeah.
So our defense was about equal. We actually let up one less point, but they managed to score 39
Yeah.
more points than we did in this
Oh, it's
game.
like, did we take it easy? Did we take the foot off the gas? Those Boston football teams, man, they love
they don't
running up the
right.
score. That old Belichick Brady mantra, just keep scoring.
So this is what they got. They
Yeah.
have this game, and then they
Yeah.
go to Columbus next week to wrap it up. Then after that, they go on to the playoffs. In the championship game is up at Tom Benson Stadium at the Hall of Fame. It will be on ESPN, as a matter of fact.
Nice.
So if your team does get there,
Awesome.
Yeah.
which we're hoping that the Passion does, they will be able to, you'll be able to watch them or get up there to go check out the game. So go Passion.
And this Boston team, that's the team last year that derailed, like what 2 losses to the Boston last year, just derailed the
this is the only
Passion
team we can't
season
beat.
last year. Because like for the longest time, the Passion were the benchmark of the women's football league. Then it shifted over to Boston.
The
Hopefully it will
Pittsburgh
shift back.
Riverhounds, Mike, they lose 2-1 to the Indy 11. Indy 11 beat them 2-1, and they played Charleston Battery this Saturday at 8:00. A lot of sports going on 8:00 on Saturday. You're going to see as we move forward, there's even more, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But the Hounds, not as good as they were last year, but they do play the Charleston Battery this Saturday, 8:00. To go along with that, Mike, the NBA Finals. The NBA Finals start tonight.
Yes.
This is game one, Thursday night tonight, 8:30. My pick was the Mavericks. They're in it against the Boston Celtics.
Yep.
In the NHL, the Edmonton Oilers in the Florida Panthers. Game one is
Yeah.
Saturday, 8 o'clock. And I think what's most interesting about this in hockey is this, guys. The last five Eastern
Yeah.
Conference champions are all from Florida.
Yeah. That's
Tampa,
insane. The
Tampa,
hockey hotbed.
Tampa, Florida, Florida, the hockey hub. Can you believe, Mike, that this Florida team got into the playoffs last year because we stunk? We could not pull the trigger and get that last spot. They get in, win the conference. They're back again this year. I wouldn't have, for $1 million, for all the money in the world, I would have never picked the Florida Panthers to be in this position they're in. For that reason, I hope they beat Edmonton. I think Connor McDavid is a hell of a player. I think it's going to be a great series. I think he's going to do some things. But at the end of the day, I got to stick with the Florida Panthers in this just because Mavericks, Panthers. Who do you like in these two series, Mike? Mavericks and Celtics, and the Panthers and the Oilers.
I think the NHL is going to find a way to get McDavid his cup.
Okay.
So that way they can start marketing him as a top 5 player of all time.
You're not suggesting that NHL quarterbacks or NHL referees can manipulate the way games go.
Okay. No, never. We never seen them hide whistles or call ticky-tack stuff to get an outcome that they might like. Never. We've never seen that in the
Within
NHL.
A direct correlation, let's jump over to basketball now. The Mavs and the Celtics. Mike, you said the Edmonton Oilers, they're going to find a way to get a way to get McDavid his cup. Who do you like in the NBA?
It's a tough one. I'm gonna hop on with you. I'm gonna go with Dallas. I think Luka is gonna get his ring. I think the league's gonna try to get him a ring. And then so I'm going with officials and the league's gonna want to get their guys that they want. I think they want to pump up Luka. Even though Luka doesn't need the help, he's one of the best players in the NBA. I think they're going to get Dallas the ring now that Mark Cuban's not the majority owner or the owner anymore. And I think the league in the NHL is going to try to get McDavid.
What about you, Dink? What do you think, Twink? Do you like the Mavericks or the Celtics? Mavericks or the Celtics? Celtics in the NBA.
I feel like the Celtics will have too much depth over the Mavs.
All right, Derp, you got the Celts. And in the NHL, the Edmonton Oilers versus the Florida Panthers. Who do you like in this one, Derpy?
Mike put it spot on. I think they're going to find a way to give McDavid the cup.
Derpy is the anti-Ryan. Every pick that I had, Derpy is the complete opposite, which I'm fine with.
I like how Derpy actually went legit analyst, looked at the rosters for the Celtics and the Mavs and gave an honest answer where I just went complete conspiracy theory.
That's right.
Which I never do.
That's why Derpy got the pay raise during the break.
No, I know, right?
So, guys, here is also in basketball. Before I do move, you know what? We got basketball because we do have a little Caitlin Clark coming up. So let me just dive into a couple of hockey stories here real quick. Mike, Jaromir Jagr, is he hired or getting hired as a member of front office for the Pittsburgh Penguins, or is this rumor?
It might just be a rumor.
Okay.
Because I know he still owns his team over in the Czech Republic. I don't think he's.
And the other one, Dan Bausma, going to coach the Seattle Kraken. Is this?
I saw that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he had great success here. Then he flamed out. Went to Buffalo, I believe. Didn't have great success there. You know what? It's the NHL coaching or the NHL coaching carousel. Man, you have success somewhere, you're going to be able to keep finding a job, and we'll see what he can do.
I couldn't agree more.
I hope he can find his groove again. I always liked him as a coach.
Pit news: Aaron Donald, Craig Hayward, the Hammerhead, and Matt Cavanaugh all on the ballot for the 2025 College Football Hall of Fame. That is the overall College Football Hall of Fame. I think Aaron Donald gets in. I think the Cam Hayward has a chance. I think that Matt Cavanaugh is probably going to get pushed back some more. But guys, those are three great players. I'd love to see any of them get in the College Hall of Fame.
Two more names on that list: Antoine Randall L. and Alan Faneca.
Okay. LSU and Indiana. I'll go with Pitt guys.
So I would like to see just because of the connection to the series. But I would love to see Donald and Faneca make it this year.
That would be great. In the basketball, the DeMar Hamlin local celebrity basketball game this Saturday at 7:00. Like everything else,
everything's happening.
Everything on Saturday.
DeJuan Blair, amongst other Pittsburgh athletes, famous local type celebrities will be involved in this game if you get a chance and you're not watching one of the other 10 sporting
Right.
events on Saturday evening. Go check that out. I'm going to dive into the USFL or into the UFL, Mike, because we do have Caitlin Clark. We do have some more to talk about here in the hardwood. So let me do this. The conferences. All right. So here's how it broke down.
Okay.
The season is over. They played all 10 games. The conferences look like this. In the XFL conference, these are the players that came from the XFL. St. Louis wins that conference with 7-3 record. San Antonio comes in second with a 7-3 record. DC 4-6, Arlington 3-7. Now over to the USFL conference. Birmingham with only the one loss just a couple weeks back to San Antonio. They are 9-1. Or Michigan, or whoever they played. Michigan is 7-3. Memphis is 2-8, and then Houston at the bottom with a 1-9. So here's how it breaks down. It will be St. Louis versus San Antonio. St. Louis is at home, and Michigan will be traveling to Birmingham. And the winner of those two games will go on to play in the UFL championship. Of course, Birmingham, they did it last year in the USFL by beating the Pittsburgh Maulers. I'm sorry. St. Louis is a strong team, and San Antonio. So there's a lot of good football still coming. And you know what? These are the four best teams right now. If you want to finally sit down and watch some UFL, these are the games. And here's also how it breaks down, guys. When it all breaks down at the end of the season, the two worst teams, which are the Memphis Showboats and the Houston team, they play each other for the number one overall pick. So if you're the worst team, say you're 0-8, and there's a team that's 3 and, or if you're 0-10 and there's a team that's 3-7, you don't just get that number one pick because you're 0-8. You have to win the number one overall game. So if you're 0-10, the other team's 3, I do too. So now these two worst teams, they have to play one another, and the winner, now you got to try. The winner gets the number one overall pick. I think this is a brilliant idea.
Yeah, you can't tank.
You can't tank.
You don't have the luck of the draw in the lottery.
It's so much easier to tank than it is to try to win a game when you're not a good team. So I think that this plays perfect. And again, one of those things that I think that they're hitting on in the UFL that maybe somewhere down the road that the NFL could maybe take a page out of their book. But I dig this plan, guys.
I can see the NFL going to a lottery system, maybe, but not this. But I kind of like this, especially for like this type of league right here.
Absolutely, man. I mean, who was the worst team in the league last year in the
NFL? Carolina, but they traded that pick to the Bears.
So the Bears and the Panthers. The Bears, and I'm not even sure right off the top of my head if that's what it is, but the Bears and the Panthers.
It would have been the Panthers and the Commanders.
Would have to play each other, and the winner of that would then get the number one overall pick.
But like in that situation where the Panthers traded that pick, with the team who owns the pick has to play that extra game.
Right.
That would be wild. Because what if you make a trade, you get that team's first pick, and then you go on to win the Super Bowl? You would have to play another game.
Yeah. All right, Big Bear, relax. All right, everybody.
I'm sorry. That's the way my brain works.
Now we got to talk, Mike. We have to put this in her. Caitlin Clark, is she popular because she's white and straight, just like Jamel Hill says? She says that the reason that Caitlin Clark is popular, the reason that she's breaking records on every level, the reason that she's setting records at the ESPN, to TNT, every channel they're on, the only reason that she's blowing the Indiana Pacers record attendance out of the water, as the season was ending, is because she's white and straight. Does this even make sense on any level, or does this sound like just something that was said that does it even make sense?
It helps that she is, because face it, like majority of the country is white. And white people have.
Well, that's not our fault.
Basic economics. No. I'm just saying, like basic economics too. White people tend to have, like, you look at the breakdown of median income. White people have more money. They have more money to spend. They're going to. So you have someone who looks like you. Yeah, you're going to go towards. So it has a part of it. But if that was the case, Cameron Britt, wouldn't she be? Or who is the white girl in LA? She would be the face of the league, because everyone says she is just so beautiful. So Cameron Bright, thank you. She
doesn't come down,
but it does help. It does help, though.
It doesn't come down to our skin. It comes down to the content of our character or the skills that we display.
But it does help. It does.
You know what? At the end of the day, that's nothing that you can even control. That's society being society.
Yeah.
You can't tell society how to think. You can't.
But it does help, especially from a marketing standpoint. Unless you're truly transcend, like a Michael Jordan, you're just the great. You can't help but go, yeah, he
But
is
he
the
was
greatest of that
he was
era.
a straight black guy, so that's why
Yeah,
he
but
gets.
he was the
It's
most
bullshit.
dominant
The
player at
fact of the
that
matter is,
time,
listen, this chick has more.
and
She
he
scored more
crossed
points in the
barriers.
NCAA than any player
Yeah,
in American history in college basketball. Nobody's ever scored more points than her for one.
yeah,
So people were interested because of this.
yeah,
One, two. She is. It is an oddity. Who would expected this
yeah.
white chick from Iowa to come
So,
up
and that's
in the WNBA and through college basketball and to be as successful as she was? That's fucking bogus, dude. The fact that she's
yeah.
a white straight chick is the most
It helps.
ridiculous thing.
It helps from a
And you know what? If
marketing
it helps, that's
standpoint. It's a
fine. But
lot
again, you
easier.
can't control what
But
society's going to do.
that's not the
What
main
society is
reason.
going to say.
But it does help.
But so the scoring more points than
No, scoring.
anybody
No,
ever.
it's a part of it. It's a part of the equation.
Let me go on. She's the fastest
Yeah.
rookie in WNBA history. The fastest. Let me one more time. There was Diana Taurasi, there was Lisa Leslie, there was Cheryl Swoops. There was all these excellent WNBA players. But this player right here, who just so happens to be white and straight, has the fastest player to 150 points, 50 rebounds, and 50 assists in the WNBA. I can give a shit less about her color. I think the fact that society is reacting the way they do, again, you can't. She's just trying to be a successful person. She's trying to play basketball the best way she can. And she's being demonized by the color of her skin opposed to the content of her character or the skills that she brings to the court. Okay, she gets a little mouthy on. Okay, well, it's basketball. If you ever played basketball where there wasn't somebody out there being mouthy, well, there wasn't somebody talking shit. Go ahead.
But in society though too, if you're white and you're mouthy, oh, you're competitive. You're black and mouthy, oh, you're arrogant, you're cocky, you're full of yourself. So that plays a part in it too. So it's not the whole thing, but the points that she's doing, the scoring. It's not because she's white; it's because she's a good athlete. But her being white helps from a marketing standpoint because marketers still like to market.
So this white girl, society has just jumped on board with, managed against the LA Sparks to score 30 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks, and we're still going to talk about she is being known and popular because she's white and straight. Again, go ahead.
No, not just because, but it like I keep saying, it does help.
In her first 10 games as a pro, she scored 169 points, 54 rebounds, 65 assists, and hits 26 3-pointers. I hardly doubt that this is because she's white. Again, if society wants to come and watch her because she's white, who am I? Who are you? Who is anybody to control that? They're white people that are happy to see that this white chick is doing good in basketball, which I can't say that I could blame people in society. That's exciting. And I got to tell you this, if a black dude came into hockey and was having the greatest career ever, I would be on board watching every single one of them games, just as they are with this girl, because it's an interesting story.
Yeah,
the fact that it comes down to race and it comes down to hate, and the fact that it comes down to what does she bring to the table? She only shoots 3-pointers. What she brings to the table
is Steph Curry. But Caitlin Clark's a great facilitator. What does she bring to the table as well?
Is this? She has a resume as long as the Holy Bible. She has done more things in the WNBA than anybody has done at this point. And this is only 10 games in, guys. Granted, the team's only 2-6, 2-8, whatever it is. But this team, again, they're going to get better. She doesn't have great teammates. These teammates, I'm questioning them. And one other thing about Kennedy Carter with her body check over here, who says Caitlin Clark is good at nothing but shooting threes. I haven't, for one, seen Kennedy Carter do anything that I would write home about, for one. And for two, I would have never heard of Kennedy Carter if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
I'm not saying these girls should be on their hands and knees thanking her, but I'm just saying, guys, you're complaining that you're not getting the attention. You're complaining that you're not getting the money in the WNBA that you deserve. You're complaining. Well, guess what? There's got to be some golden geese in the flock if you're going to start making things happen. You can't continue with what wasn't working and continue to get results. You know what? This chick just so happens to be white, but she's putting asses in seats, which is going to take your pay raise up in some capacity. It's going to give you more attention. And again, till last week when she placed this hit on Caitlin Clark, did you know who Kennedy Carter was, Mike?
No idea. Yeah, and like the way the league is treating Caitlin Clark is the way the NHL treated Sidney Crosby, the way he came
And on the other
into the
hand,
league.
I'm
Like
not
they're like
against it.
just like
I'm
hard
not
fouls,
against it.
people just like abusing them, and the league just going, oh well, it is what it is.
And
Like
and
no,
I'm
these
not
are
against
the
that.
people who are coming to watch. They came to watch Crosby. They came to watch Caitlin Clark. Kind of like protect them the way you protected Gretzky, the way you protected Jordan. Do that and help build your league. But these are two fringe leagues, and they don't want to do that.
I'm going to tell
And
you
if you
something.
protect your stars, no matter who they are, protect. Like you saw it when the hard foul on Angel Reese. They called that flagrant two, injected the woman who
I do want
choked
to.
Slater.
I want
That's
to
what you
address
need to
something
do
that
throughout the
Brian
league to
did say on the
protect your
board.
stars.
Brian said that Clark is the fastest WNBA player to 59 turnovers, which is interesting because nobody's saying that she's the best complete total basketball player. If you want to take all the stats that she did do and throw in a few negatives, I'm fine with that because she's human. And of course,
Yeah,
again, she's not Michael Jordan. She's not the best player ever. Nobody's stating that. I'm saying that she scored
yeah,
the most in college than anybody. But at the end of the day, she does have turnovers. There are flaws in her game. Her defense,
yeah,
she does got to pick up speed and a couple other things. So at the end of the day, I'm not giving her the total pass.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, I am saying this: she is your Queen Midas, if
yeah.
you will, right now.
Like her,
And
her,
I'm not against what I was trying to say, Mike. Was this? I'm not against her getting bullied. I'm not against her
yeah,
being rookied because in every sport, everywhere in this land, if you played as a rookie or a first year player,
yeah.
chances are you were treated pretty shitty at some
But
point.
it's
In
just
my
the way
opinion,
it's
it's part of
going.
the game.
It's over and above what most rookies get. And I saw like Sidney Crosby had over and above what other rookies had in his time too. These are
I mean, if she was perfect,
yeah.
she would
If
have
she was
less
perfect,
turnovers.
it would
But
not to
nobody's
me it
saying
would
she's
be fun to
perfect.
watch.
I'm saying everything else put together
Hank,
says that she's a pretty good basketball player.
Peyton Manning, had a losing record, a lot of interceptions his rookie year. Troy Aikman won
That's
one
true.
game his rookie year, had a lot
That's
of
true.
turnovers, and they're
These are
some
all
of the
Hall of
greatest
Famers.
players of all time.
Can you tell me at the end of this
Terry
girl's career,
Bradshaw, same
big
down touchdowns, interceptions,
big
one of the
bear,
greatest.
big
All right.
bear, at the end of this girl's career, could you honestly, this woman, I'm sorry, at the end of this woman's career, can you tell me that she's not going to be successful? Do you think that she's going to just disappear into the night? Or do you think at the end of the day, this is what I think. She's going to have camaraderie with a lot of these girls that she's been fighting with.
Oh
She's
yeah.
probably going to be best friends with Angel Reese one day.
Oh yeah.
And they're going to sit back, they're
Yeah.
going to laugh, and they're going to talk about these kind of things.
Because you see it on the court, they're fiery and competitive against each other. But off the court, they say all the right things about each other.
Also, Mike, they did manage to beat the one of their two wins was against the Chicago Sky, which is where Cordoza and Angel Reese played, which they both did play. The Indiana Fever did manage to get their second win against those guys. I thought that was big. I think that they should have probably pumped that game up a little bit more with all the big rookie names.
Yeah.
And yes, they both aren't that great of teams, but this is who these are the names you want people to start getting familiar with as household names.
Like Angel Reese is she's already playing as one of the better bigs in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is, she is what she is. She's going to bring all the people in. Like, why not, build it up as a Bird versus Magic type thing? Because that's how it should be built.
Mike, do you think that her teammates are leaving her hanging?
Yeah.
I think when she's getting body checked.
Dude, we're like, as a Penguin fan, you see our star players get hit and they don't do anything and the star has to protect himself. I'm seeing the same thing Carlos Malcolm Letang go through is what Caitlin Clark's go through. Teammates not doing anything. Like some of the old guys from the NBA, like the bad boys, they're like, where the hell are your teammates? And just get one enforcer. Like Draymond Green's like, they needed an enforcer. Like someone who's just going to eat up fouls, but you're going to know that, hey, you go after my player, I'm going to whoop your ass.
She gets a technical foul last week. A little smack talk.
Why?
Right.
Her and that other woman, they bump jaw a little bit, and they both get teed up.
Well, here's the thing. Caitlin, I think she's kind of forced into this position. She's going to be forced to harden her shell. She's going to be forced, as Sidney Crosby was, because these guys are playing Game 7 defense on her.
Oh, God, yeah.
We're playing.
You're going to get the best of everyone.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are covering her like she's trying to get that shot at the end of Game 7 to win. So she, there's a lot to say about this topic.
Yeah, and what's disappointing is the team and like the coach of Indiana, like use that in your game planning and making of how you're gonna run plays. Everyone's gonna key on her. And I'm watching some of these games, like when Caitlin has the ball, there's no one like moving around towards her to try to get an open shot. She'll have two people on her. Like someone should be coming to, doing something to get open to be available for the
And I gotta
pass.
tell you, this team
And the
ain't really
way
that good.
no, it's
I
not.
mean, there's a
It's
reason
not.
they got the number one overall. They're just
Yeah,
not that good. Her
no.
teammates aren't that
Like
good.
this shit. Get the number one overall again, and hope Paige comes out, and you have Caitlin Clark and Paige Booker as your
Oh,
backcourt.
you can't. There ain't no way in the
Get the
world they
fuck
can take
out of
another white
here.
chick. There is not any way in the world they
Do
can
it.
take another white chick, Mike. It won't happen. Mark my
Well, why
words.
you got up in
Right?
Connecticut.
Why? That's exactly the point. There's
You
no
got Brianna
reason why that
Stewart.
shouldn't be okay.
You got Brianna. You got
You think they're demonizing this
the
now?
white. Oh no, it's just Caitlin Clark. Everyone loves Paige Bookers. It's just Caitlin Clark. Everyone hates Caitlin
Wait till
Clark.
Paige comes up and she starts getting the other half of the attention.
I'm sorry. I just read Brian's comment. I hate you.
If Fever's head coach is kind of sexy and a woman's gym teacher,
To each their own, man. To each their own. I don't judge.
Mike,
I'll
with that
kink
being
shame you, but I
said,
won't
why
judge
don't you go ahead and wait? Let me check, make sure I ain't got nothing else here on this. Yeah, no, not that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's tell everybody about the website.
The2dumyinzers.com. If you head on over there, we got Ryan and I got links to all of our social media for Ryan and myself. I got links to the merchandise store from 2 Dumb Yinzers merch. And we got the blog over there on the2dumyinzers.com. The blog was off all last week. I was on vacation. The blog was on vacation. The blog will be coming back. Blog's
Mike
just my
froze up. I
random,
thought my dreams
my
came
random
true.
sport thoughts.
He's back.
It's back. Back again.
That's the theme of the day. That and the pride Mike today is just for today's show is Big Bear. Today I am Anton and Derpy, of course, is Twink. So, guys, it is time.
Remember, when you're in our group, we'll make fun of y'all. Someone else makes fun of you. We whoop their asses.
That's right. This is the question of the day, guys, and this kind of goes along with what we're talking about. It's ugly, but you know what? It's out there.
Oh God,
this is something that we have to do. We deal with every day as Americans.
America.
There's no other country, I don't think, that has to handle race the way that Americans do.
See, it's different in Europe. They base it on like what country you're born in.
Yeah, they don't. Europe
and skin color too.
Yeah. Listen.
Don't go to those.
Let's not talk about Europe. I got a problem with them. But anyway, that's for another day.
You and Tony Kukoc got beef.
That and the potato saga over my vacation. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. We didn't have much time.
Now we got beef with the Irish.
We didn't have much time today because there was a lot of sports. So we will get to some more personal conversation as the week goes on because I did have a bit of a baked potato issue. But again, that'll be tomorrow. Guys, this is the question of the day. Derpy, get your thinking hat on. Mike, you ready? On the board?
I can't wait to see where this is going.
Here we go.
Yeah,
in 2017, this team became the last NFL team to start a black quarterback. In 2017,
wow,
this team became the last NFL team to start a black quarterback. Take a minute to think that over, guys. We are live now that we're back again. We're live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. right here. If you missed the show or you'd rather just listen to the show, we take the brand new show that we do every day live and we upload it over on Spotify at 8 o'clock p.m. Maybe you're at the gym, maybe you're in the car, or like Brian said on the board, maybe you're just at home in your underwear eating potato chips, watching TV. That's totally fine too. You can take this brand new show every day and hear it either here or on Spotify in podcast form. Check it out. All right, guys, on the board here in the studio, everybody, here we go. Question of the day. In 2017, this NFL team became the last team to start a black guy. This is the last team in the NFL that had a black starter. Every other team ahead of them has had a black starter quarterback, except this team till 2017. Derpy, I'm going to start with you. Twink, what do you think? Who was the last team in the NFL to manage to start a black quarterback after everybody else? P on the board says Dallas.
You know what? I'm gonna go Dallas.
So P says sounds very Dallas. Twink says Dallas. Mike, Big Bear. Arr. I'm going to come to you next.
I'm gonna go with the New England Patriots.
The New England Patriots. And is that your final answer, Derpy? You saying the Dallas Cowboys are your final answer?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to lock Derpy into place. Then I'm going to come over here to Mike. Mike, you're saying that it was who? The Patriots.
Patriots.
All right. Brian, or I'm sorry, P on the board says the Dallas Cowboys as well. Guys, the question of the day is this. In 2017, this team became the last NFL team to start a black quarterback. P on the board says Dallas. Derpy says Dallas. Mike says New England. This player came in to replace a benched in 2017, a benched Eli Manning in New York.
Wow.
Was Geno
Ooh.
Smith.
Wow.
Geno
Wow.
Smith was the last starting quarterback for an NFL team that was a black guy
Wow. That's insane.
yes, it was when Eli got benched. Geno came in to start, and that is that. They were the
That's
last team
insane.
to start a black guy. So very
Wow.
interesting. I mean, as I said, race is a very it's a different thing here in the US. It really is. And you know what? You got to be able here's the thing. You can't control what people are going to do, what people are going to say. Brian on the board did say Kansas City. Race is, it's, you got to be careful because it's like it is here, and it's not like that anywhere else on the planet. I'm pretty sure. And the fact that we can enjoy sports and love sports, and that's why I think I do. I love sports. I watch these guys, and I don't care what color they are. They're out there killing each other and scoring and being productive and being and celebrating and hitting each other and hurting each other. But you know what? At the end of the day, you don't think about their color. And I like that. I like that about sports, especially football. Not so much basketball.
Not so much hockey.
Women's basketball is a little bit sketchy right now.
Yeah, women's basketball. Yeah, hockey.
But I'm watching baseball the other night. I mean, there's Spanish people. There's guys from I like this. I like this. I like it.
I do too. Like you get
because these are people doing the
and
best.
that's why, like how baseball finally incorporated the Negro League stats.
I love it. Josh Gibson is Pittsburgh guy who is now the best in the majors. Which that's a conversation for a whole other day. But that is awesome.
I
love it.
I want the best of the best of the best, no matter whether from competing against each other.
And notice the two sports that lag behind in the major four. It are the two that are most lopsided race-wise. Basketball and hockey are the two bottom sports of the major four. Football being one, believe it or not, baseball number two in our country, but the two that are most lopsided in race is those two sports. No, that has to do with it. I don't know, but it's interesting.
I think they're just, I don't know, like I don't want to say fringe sports because basketball is still popular, but it's like they're football and baseball are just ever present.
And is what baseball's they fell out. It isn't like they've always been a fan favorite. It's been quote unquote America's pastime, but at the end of the day, with lockouts and this and that and problems they had and scandals and steroids and betting, this sport's surviving and thriving. So
but people want to go see home runs and strikeouts, and that's all the Major League Baseball is anymore. We'll see. We'll see though, because like people all thought in basketball you wanted to see where dunks and 3-pointers. That's what it is now, and viewership's going down. So,
I do want to say thank you everybody for checking us out. Thank you that came and hang out with us today. We appreciate each and every one of you. Anybody that does watch a show in the future. Also, do want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always make and keep things interesting. Guys, any extra things that you did have that you want to talk about? Because we're going to go a little bit over time today.
We covered a lot today. Like a lot of the main key points. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Then I got a couple. We're gonna go over these last couple things I got, and then we'll wrap it up. All right.
All right. Yeah.
You all right with that, Twink?
I'm all right with that.
All right. Here's a question. What is the least popular sport according to Google? If you would go in and type, what is the most popular sport in America? Football comes up. But if you were to ask Google, what is the most unpopular sport? Any guesses on what this sport would be? Anybody?
Horse racing.
Horse racing, Derpy,
That's popular. Fuck.
Basketball.
basketball.
I'm gonna change it to highlight. Highlight.
The least favorite sport, according to Google, if you would type in that right now, what is the least favorite sport in America? Ferret legging. Ferret legging.
What the
What?
fuck is ferret legging?
I don't know.
And it sounds kind of kinky.
Yeah.
Send me a link on the side.
Ferret legging. Also, a couple other things here, guys.
Yeah, baseball makes me fall asleep too, P. Oh,
That's why I like baseball, and especially now the pitch clock. I could fall asleep during baseball. I don't know how many times I'm watching a game and I wake up and it's like 3 or 4 innings later.
yeah.
But I think
It's perfect. It's the perfect time travel game.
Mike Tyson might be in danger
Yeah.
for the upcoming fight against who is it? Jake Paul or is it Logan Paul?
Nah, I can't remember.
I mean, neither.
I can't
Just
remember.
some white son of a bitch. Mike,
Braun Baker is the white son of a bitch.
I'm kind of pissed because I want Mike Tyson to kill this guy. I do. I want to see him pound his head in. But Mike Tyson's dealing with some kind of health issue, which at 58 years old, I mean, you can't really be surprised.
You can't deny it.
So he may or may not fight. It is postponed as we speak, but it's not looking good. That and finally Eminem. Eminem comes out with a new song over the past week, which Mike likes a lot. Matter of fact, that's all he could talk. Remember, I was talking Derpy. I was talking about
talked about it twice.
We were sitting on the kitchen floor having this conversation. Went on for 4 hours. Well, that's all he could talk about was this Eminem song, and he's going on.
People were crying about, oh, how can you say that about Megan Thee Stallion? Do you hear what he said about his own mama, his baby mama, his kids before? Slim will say whatever he wants about anyone.
And that's the thing. That's another
and it wasn't
thing.
even that bad.
Why are people getting offended by Slim Shady? That's his shtick.
Yeah. Oh, Eminem's fallen off. He ain't offensive anymore. Comes out and says that bar about Megan Thee Stallion. How dare he? Like, come on now. That's Em. That's Slim. That's what he does.
Piece of darts.
Deuce 1, deuce 2. Now we're talking like tennis.
The darts is funny to me because Brian also on the board he's a big time darts player. I don't know if he's still with us to comment on this.
Yeah.
But
well, one of the guys I work with, he a big time dart player.
Like he goes out and he's in these tournaments and that.
Some of those dudes make a shit ton of money on the high end.
But Mike, anything else? Anything that you have under your sleeve? We've been off for a whole week.
I got nothing. Dude.
Nothing else. Nothing accumulated in your mind over that time that you'd like to talk about. That any observations, anything like this, or
I just can't wait for actual fucking football to happen. I'm tired of all you scroll on Steelers Twitter. Oh, Tomlin secretly wants Justin Fields to be the starter. And then he would just name him the fucking starter if he wanted that to happen. I'm tired of all these.
And then you see the one the very next day where Justin Fields says, "I have absolutely nothing to do with not wanting to be the starter. I want to be the starter." And they got him. They have fielding punts. They have him, playing outside linebacker.
Any comment that's made jokingly is taken so seriously. I just can't wait for fucking football to start. Tour de France is going to kick off, I think, the end of the month, beginning of next month as well. We got that to look forward to. I'm pumped. I'm excited.
We will not be talking about that. Derpy, anything before we get ready to take off?
I got nothing. I mean,
what was the word that you said at the beginning? Remember we were making funny. What was the one word you said? Mike, help me. Stop looking at what you're looking at and think what he's.
I can't remember.
It was about when he ate too much.
Food coma. Fucoma.
Yeah.
A Fucoma. So there you have it, everybody.
Tajay Pogacar, look for him to win the Tour de France this year. He's one of the favorites.
Brian on the board says, remember when Christina Aguilera came out and gave Eminem the award? I do remember that. I just seen it recently on something. A Fucoma. But I do want to say thank you to everybody once again. I do want to give you a heads up that Mike will not be Big Bear anymore after today. I won't be Anton. Derpy may or may not be Twink. I don't know.
Tomorrow, my name is going to say Big Bear.
Yeah,
it's going to be scrolling across the bottom.
But we are recognizing recognizing people from the Pride community. But as I said,
this is how we show her love. We fucking pick on you.
That's right.
If we don't pick on you, that means we don't like you.
That's what I'm saying. I talk shit on Mike all the time.
talk shit on you all the time.
But if somebody would say, you know what, you got to be nice to him, then we wouldn't be friends because that's
No,
how we're
fuck no.
friends.
God
That's why we're
no.
friends.
That's what, like I have friends that are, I've known for my entire life, and all we do is shit on each other.
That's right.
That's how Gen X shows appreciation.
So this wasn't this was the show back, guys. This is episode 554. We'll be back tomorrow. Do it all over again. I got a lot of stuff to talk about, Mike. There's about a three-quarters of a page of things we didn't get into today because there was so much.
Oh
There was a
God.
lot of sports, especially coming up this weekend
Oh
on
yeah.
Saturday. Tonight, though, you do have the Pirates back in action. A lot of people are going to be paying attention to this game because it's Otani coming to town in the LA Dodgers. So we will certainly be hitting on that amongst many other things, I'm sure. But guys, speak now or forever hold your peace.
I got nothing.
Derpy.
Um,
Derby
I
got
got
nothing.
nothing.
All right.
I got nothing.
All right. Well, thank you everybody again for checking us out and coming to hang with us. We appreciate each and every one of you. We really, 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 really do.
Yes.
If it wasn't for you, we do it for you guys. It wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for you. I want to say thank you. Everybody have a great day. It's supposed to be close to 90 degrees. Keep hydrated.
Yes,
Try to
stay
keep
hydrated.
Oh
cool
man.
and stay healthy and in good health because we do want to see everybody back tomorrow. Talk more sports for Mike, Big Bear over in the Steeler Central Mobile Studio. Derpy, myself, everybody have a great day. The Two Dum Yinzers says, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you.
See you.